Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we will discuss the topic chemical formula. So today we will see the formula in chemistry. So let us discuss what is a chemical formula. The chemical formula of a compound is a symbolic representation of its composition. So chemical formula is the symbolic representation of a compound of its composition. So from chemical formula you will get all the composition, the entire composition of the compound. Okay, that means chemical formula gives the very simple and symbolic representation of a compound. So we can go to the examples. First example is water, H2O. It is a symbolic representation of water. CaO, calcium oxide, very symbolic representation. Ammonia, NH3 is the chemical formula. K2SO4, potassium sulfate is the symbolic representation or chemical formula of potassium sulfate. So, very simply, you can represent the chemical formula of a compound. And its composition also given in their chemical formula. Okay. The next one is concept of writing chemical formula. So to write chemical formula, we have to go through the following points. The valencies or charges on the ion must balance. That means the valencies should balance. When a compound consists of a metal and a non-metal, the name or symbol of the metal is written first. If a compound consists of metal and non-metal, the name of the metal should write first. For example, calcium oxide, CaO, the name of metal is first written. That means calcium. Sodium chloride, here sodium is the metal. So sodium is written first. Iron sulfide, Fe. The first one is iron. So because it is a metal. Copper oxide, CuO. First one is metal, copper, etc. Where oxygen, chlorine, sulfur are non-metals and are written on the right, whereas calcium, sodium, iron and copper are metals and are written on the left. Clear? In compounds formed with the polyatomic ions, the ion is enclosed in a bracket before writing the number to indicate the ratio. That means if there are polyatomic ions, that means it should be included or enclosed in a bracket before writing the number to indicate the ratio. If there are polyatomic ions, you have to write these polyatomic ions in a bracket. Clear? Before writing the number to indicate the ratio. So you can see the rules for writing chemical formulae. The valency or charges on the ion must balance. And when a compound is comprised of metal and non-metal, you have to write the name of the metal first. Then you can write the name of non-metal. Example, calcium oxide, iron sulfide, sodium chloride, copper oxide. In the case of polyatomic ions, you have to use a bracket enclosed by polyatomic ions for before writing the number to indicate the ratio. Lastly, here we will discuss ions. So we have already seen what are atoms, molecules, and here we will discuss ions. Particle carrying charge or charged species are known as ions. Here we can discuss ions. Particles carrying positive or negative charges are called ions. That means positively or negatively charged species or particles are called ions. Types of ions, cations. Positively charged ions are called cations. Example, Al3 plus, Ca2 plus. Second one, anions. Negatively charged ions, that means Cl minus, Br minus, F minus, OH minus. So, particles carrying positive or negative charges are called ions. We have two types of ions, cations and anions. Cations are positively charged ions. Example, Al3 plus, Ca2 plus, Fe2 plus, Mg2 plus. Anions, negatively charged ions are called anions. Cl minus, Br minus, F minus, OH minus. These are anions. All metals from cations by losing metals form cations by losing electrons. All metals form positively charged cations by losing electrons. All nonmetals form anions by gaining electrons. Okay, so today we have seen chemical formulae and ions. Chemical formula is the symbolic representation of compound by its composition, and ions are the particles carrying positive or negative charges. That is all about today's session. Thank you.